What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. I'm about to get this in. But before I fit it in, let's fit this intro in. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled by it, right? Wes Watson. Here we go again, right? Why is his story so intriguing? Why can't we get enough of Wes, right? Wes can't get enough of Wes. That's the honest to God truth. But you know, you see all these videos on social media. It's over. It's over. Stick a fork in them. The turkey, the dishes are done, man. You see all these different videos by different content creators explaining their reasonings why Wes Watson is cooked. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's really over now. It's really over. Everything from the scam he perpetrated on people that has been put out there by, shout out John Bravo and others, right? And look, all content creators that do videos on Wes, hey, I salute. You guys are doing your thing. I get it, man. He's a big old pile of money and everybody needs their bag. Hey, if people like it, put it out there, right? But I'm going to say right now, it's over. It's really over. And this is something that I said a long time ago when nobody was really focusing on it. Everybody was focusing on how Wes Watson got his money in the scam he did, the beating of women that he is not innocent from on any fucking amount of thinking, right? On any different level. We know that he has priors of doing this. It's on court documentation. It's on paperwork. It's on federal paperwork, right? This guy has really, he has a history of hurting females, okay? Assaulting females. Everyone from his ex-wife, from the rooter to the tutor, right? He's been doing this. You know, you could blame it on the injection of whatever he was putting into his system. You could blame it on just his fucking attitude towards people in general. You could blame it on someone getting a big amount of money that's never had money. Because I've always been a firm believer in, you could always tell a person that got money that never had money because they don't know how to act with it. They believe that money makes them better than everyone else. Wes Watson definitely falls into that category. Someone who never really had big paper, all of a sudden got it. And instead of using it to invest in other situations, all he did was flaunt it. He did the Mayweather. He showed you everything he got when he really don't got that. Okay, and that's just the truth. Now, what really cooked Wes Watson the other day was something I came across watching a different platform, and that was the fact that there is now paperwork circulating around. Because we all know Wes Watson's been moved to Dade County from Broward County in Florida, the county jail there, where he seems like he was protected. It seems like he was detoxing off of something. And that's the reason why they had him there. You know, he was getting his little detoxation on. You know, he's steady calling fucking the Island Boys and, oh boy, Jack Doherty. And they're making fun of him and he doesn't even realize it. Just trolling the shit out of Wes. He's such a fucking idiot. He'll still do anything for the clout that he just seeks, right? But anyways, they moved him the other day to Dade County. And the reason so is he has court coming up very soon with the incident, the assault on the 7-foot monster. 7-foot monster being a black man that's about the size of Wembyama, right? And we all know that the details of that case, it's pretty real, okay? You can look at it. I thought personally Wes had a lot of action at possibly beating that case or getting some action at that case because that man did go to that gym, set up his camera phone, and did approach Wes Watson in a hostile manner. He confronted Wes Watson. Now, let's rewind it. Wes Watson did challenge him to a fight. He told anybody and everybody, whoever wanted that smoke, Wes Watson was going to be at this place at this time, and all you had to do was come get you some. Now, he didn't tell you he was going to use weapons. He didn't tell you that he was going to have dumbbell Rob in the back with a dumbbell. He didn't tell you that you was going to get jumped on that place and in that property, right? But what he did tell you was that if you wanted that smoke, come get it. Now, you have to be objective and shit like this. That man said, hey, if you come ready to fight the 7-foot monster, whether he came ready or he didn't, he should have been better prepared. But he pulled up. He chose to take the bait. And Wes Watson did what Wes Watson does, and that's he utilized whatever he could around him, whether it was weapons, whether it was friends, allies at that point in time, which I'm sure are not fucking with them anymore because they don't want no smoke with that case. But they jumped this guy. They jumped him. No, allegedly. It's on camera. He got jumped. There was weapons utilized. But see, I keyed in on something not a lot of other content creators really keyed in on. I think a few others mentioned it. People like JD Delay, John Bravo, Dubs, even Bubba, right? I keyed in on the point and the fact that Wes Watson said some very hateful comments while he was kicking this black man in the face. And one of them was the N-word with the hard ER. Now, okay, in the heat of battle, things get said. But this ain't the first time Wes Watson has been known to use derogatory terms or racial remarks concerning black men. He's done it in the past. But you say, well, he's a Wood, brother. Don't Woods do that? Not all Woods do that. A lot of Woods that I've been around carry themselves with professionalism, and anybody who wants it can get it regardless of skin color. Even the Woods, other Woods can get it, right? Now, are there people that have racial tendencies and utilize those? Of course. I think everybody has a little bit in them. Everybody has a little bit of bias. Look, let's be real here. That's what I'm known for. Let's not bullshit. There's a lot of people that may not seem that way. They listen to rap music or they listen to country music if they're black or whatever. But when they get in a fight with the opposition, the opposing opponent, right? A black and a white, or a white and a black or brown or whatever, however the fuck you want to spin it, right? Then they might utilize some racial slanderous words against that person. It just comes out, right? No, it don't just come out. It only comes out if that's in your vocabulary, if that's what you're used to saying, if that's how you really feel. That's when it fucking comes out. And Wes Watson saying the N-word with the hard ER while kicking a black man in the face, to me, lets every other black man in the world and brown man know this man don't like you, nor does he like us. So why are people so infatuated with him? Why do people care about how many cars and vehicles he has, the women he's around, the gyms he's at? Because he's convinced people that you could be just like him, a narcissistic asshole, if you do a few push-ups. That's not the way it works. That is instilled in his mind by him thinking he's more superior than others. But now this is how he's cooked. This paperwork that was released, that John Bravo put out there, says in it that Wes Watson, and this is the prosecution just stating a case, right? Saying that Wes Watson has been known to assault women prior to this assault charge he's facing. He has been known to assault men. He has told stories on the internet about assaulting men of different ethnicities. Okay, so when you got a court case about jumping a black man and your whole shtick, your whole get down is content creation on YouTube. It was prior to everything else, life coaching and whatever. You know, anyone that was stupid enough to believe that this dude can help you with your life, look at his. It's over, right? But people were convinced they could fucking get pecs like that without injections. It is what it is, right? Believe what you want to, but believe this. Once it's on paperwork and it's presented to the judge by prosecution and to the jury or whoever, if it ever gets to that point, right? It's not a good look for Wes. It's actually cooked him. Because when they could show prison priors, when they could show priors, when they show you on your own videos saying about how you beat up black men and how you beat up brown men and how you beat up your own people and this and that, and you never take an L and you're just fucking aggressive, well, that shows that you already have an aggressive nature. You're an aggressive person. Then when they say in the same paperwork that you have priors of saying racially motivated and charged words to other individuals of different groups and ethnicities, man, you can't deny the fact of that. And that keys, people will key in on that, just like I did. I said, hey, here's the bigger story. Fuck the fact he's kicking dude in the face. We could see that, the fact of what he's saying while he's doing it. That now becomes a hate crime. That now becomes something totally different. Ooh-wee, right? You don't want that on your jacket. You don't want that on your record. Little did we know, Wes Watson already has prior incidences when it comes to racial tension. He's over there hugging on Kevin Gates, licking on Diddy, sitting down with Rick Ross, because Rick Ross does a lot of sitting down, right? And he's over there chilling. Meanwhile, he don't like you brothers at all. Not only did he say it once, he said it many times with all kinds of other derogatory terms that I won't say right here, right? I'll say this. That's in the paperwork. That's cooking him right now. He's boiling. Okay. He's now in Dade County, a situation where he might not be protected. He might not be put in a pod where, he's just a whole bunch of people detoxing and he's just having it his way, like he was telling the Island Boys. He might not be placed, like he says, GP, right? Penitentiary GP on the general population side. And it's going to be ugly for him. And why? Because in that same paperwork, they identified Wes Watson as a member of a California prison organization for the whites. Let that sink in. I don't know about you, but if you've done your history on Wes Watson and you know what I know, then you know that Wes Watson was never a member of that. Wes Watson was barely a fucking wood, brother. He was wood by fucking skin color. That's it, right? His mentality is not unlike any other wood I've ever met. I've talked to people who did time with Wes Watson. I just recently talked to a dude who was like 2 cells down from Wes Watson. He's a South Sider, right? He was in Oklahoma with Wes. He told me when that fucking riot cracked off, Wes Watson was either locked in the Sallyport or in his cell. He wasn't even involved. He said, man, I don't hate Wes Watson. He said, that was the homie. We did time together. He's from San Diego. He said, we did time in the county together. We did time in Oklahoma together. We just happened to meet up. He goes, man, even when I got out, I used to get at Wes Watson before he blew up. He said, then one day, this is a true story. This is what he told me. He said, one day, he had Wes Watson's home phone number, his cell number. That was his boy. He was cool with them. And he's a Southerner and whatever. He says, man, Wes Watson wasn't doing all that crazy shit, beating up everyone. He said he was very quiet, very humble. He said, look, in fact, there was one time, man, where the wood shot caller wanted to beat Wes's ass, and Wes came up to their cell, the Southerner cell, to ask for their assistance if they can get this big old wood off of him. He said, that's just what it was. No hatred. He was Wes's homeboy because they're from San Diego, but that's the truth. Anyways, I digress. Wes Watson, right? This man gets out, and he's not really up on social media, but he happens to go to Savage Studios channel, out of all channels back in the days. This was years ago before Wes Watson was really blowing up like he is now, right? And he was just sitting there letting pigeon shit on his head in a park and telling his prison stories. And he sees Savage like kind of going in on Wes or mentioning him. So he does the thing that any friend would do. He calls Wes like, hey, bro, you see this shit? You know who this dude is? And Wes says, yeah, I know who he is. And he said, hey, bro, he was saying some crazy shit about you. What happened, right? And Wes said, how dare you fucking call me telling me about another man talking shit about me. I thought you were a better friend than I. He said, hey, bro, I'm just giving you a heads up. This fool's talking shit. What you want to do about it, right? Like, I got you. He wasn't calling him to say, right? He wasn't doing that. And Wes went off on him. He said he blocked him. He called him all kinds of bullshit, said, you're not my friend, and blocked him. And Wes, you know me better than that. And he was like, yeah, I do know you better than that. I know you ain't shit. And so that was it. He talked to me. That was how that relationship went. Whatever. He said he still don't hate Wes, but that's the truth. Wes has just been an asshole all the time. A quiet asshole, though. He said while in prison, he was a quiet one. So we fast forward to now. They are saying Wes Watson is part of an organization. Okay. If you know Wes Watson's history, you know that when he first came out, he was telling a lot of stories about the wood side of things. And I think that's kind of what people gravitated towards. You had your first big wood all swole, tatted down, man, and everyone was like, damn, he's telling prison stories from a wood's perspective. You had the Norteño, the dropout Norteño. You had the Southerners, the dropout Southerners. You had the blacks. You had all that telling their prison stories, but you never really had a big old righteous wood. I mean, there was a couple of them, but no one that looked like Wes Watson that was as aggressive and as loudmouth, and just his stories just were good stories. They were, even though they were fake, they were good though. And ain't nothing wrong with a little fakery, right? But they were good. And what happened along them lines is Wes Watson started mentioning names. And while he was mentioning these names, a couple of these woods who he mentioned were still incarcerated, and they ended up catching cases behind some of the stories Wes Watson was talking about. And they were found guilty in a court of law. So automatically that means the woods are mad, brother, right? They were upset with Wes Watson. Wes Watson got a little bit of paper, got signed to a whatever type of deal he got signed to, and Bamuski, his ass shot the moon. He got over there to Florida, where he started to create this persona that people started to believe that he was richer than everyone else. He was stronger than everyone else. He was downer than everyone else. He was crazier than everyone else. He had more beautiful women than everyone else. No, you didn't. They weren't bad. They weren't dimes. They were built, right? And in doing so, this persona that he put on was just basically a clout chaser, because every celebrity that were real celebrities that he seen, he ran and jumped in photos with them. And you know who I am, right? I'm Wes Watson. They were like, I don't know, right? I'm sure they don't have time to sit there and watch YouTube all day. And if anything, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I know you. You're the guy that was losing his hair where the pigeons were shitting on it, right? They were literally acid fucking drops on his head. But anyways, he built this persona because he got a little bit of money. Now, of course, John Bravos put a video out there saying how exactly he got his money. And if that's the truth, if he did scam people, if people were buying into his program, hey, if you got the wool pulled over your eyes, that's on you. But the fact that people that wanted to get out of the program, he was changing the names, dates, and times on certain things so that way you couldn't disconnect your card from that reoccurring payment. That is some bullshit. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad right now when hey, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Motherfucker had to go change his bank card, so I cut all that shit out. Like they're getting $10 here, $5 here. I don't know how many times I got to pay Google. Yeah, man, I pay them more than they pay me. That's crazy, right? But so I understand that. But people that didn't want nothing to do with Wes and were trying to get away from this flim flam bullshit snake oil salesman ass program, and he was changing things on them, so they thought they were being charged from like Macy's or whatever, these stores. Meanwhile, it was all him getting them, and buying Bugattis on their shit. Right now, there's a dude sitting there like, man, he got me. Yeah, he got you for a motherfucking Tesla, homie. Straight up. Tesla'd out on you. Hey, I feel bad, but it is what it is. You shouldn't have signed up in the fucking first place. You really believe that shit? Anyways, the reason Wes Watson is so cooked now is because them saying that he was part of an organization and that he's utilizing hate words towards blacks, and this being a case where he assaulted a black man with a few other people. Yeah, I don't think he's going to beat that case anymore. I think he's going to be found guilty on that case. And even though we know the 7-foot black man, right, the brother went to go be, I guess he went to go speak on it, and everyone said, oh, he fucked up. He wasn't prepared or whatever. That file that was put out on Wes just helped him tremendously. Not only did it help him in Wes Watson getting caught up behind doing what he did to him, getting some justice, but also a civil lawsuit. And that's not even the cake. That's not the icing. Wes still has to go back to the other county because he's fighting those charges on beating up his old lady, kidnap, all kinds of different things. I mean, he's really in trouble here. You know, so is it really over now? I believe with that paperwork that surfaced that John Bravo was able to get his hands on, with what it says, it's over, right? Because mind you, they are saying he's part of a group. Now, Wes Watson has never admitted that he is part of that group, but he has never denied it as well. When he was asked by the Island Boys and Jack Doherty, you know, if he was part of a certain group, he neither fucking said he was, nor did he deny it. And let me explain to you some about prison organizations, just real quick. I don't want them to get mad at me, but this is just the facts. You can't false flag. You can't false claim. That's a fucking rule, right? That's a number one rule. I've seen so many dudes whacked, DP'd, hurt, rolled up off the yard for trying to proclaim something they're not. Just be who you are, man. It'll get you by a lot more comfortable and a lot more safer than you trying to. Just because you have tattoos, you're big and everything doesn't automatically make you someone they will recruit. You are not elite. You are not. We're going to leave it at that. He is not that. I promise you that, right? So for him, neither denying it nor admitting it, he's leaving it open for interpretation. And believe a group that doesn't want no association or affiliation with this guy based on he's had people locked up, whether you call it dry snitching or whatever, they got caught up behind some of his stories. Oh man, he's in trouble. And I know, well, that's a California group. It doesn't matter, man. I'm sure they have ties to wherever he goes. So whether or not he gets convicted, gets a large amount of time, I believe he's going to get some time. And if he wants to be Mr. GP, like he says he is, he's going to go in there and he's going to get really roasted. He's going to get honey roasted M&M peanuts. It's bad, right? So for all the people that are making this content, you ask yourself, man, why am I even intrigued by Wes Watson? I mean, it's the look, man. It's the everything that goes into it. People want to know what's going to happen to this guy. I'll tell you guys straight up what's going to happen. He's going to get convicted of both these charges, and he's going to end up doing anywhere from 10 to 15 in the Florida system. And there's a lot of people that don't like Wes, and he's in trouble. And that's exactly what it is. But that documentation right there, saying that he's racist, saying that, you know, he's part of a group, an organization that he's not part of. I'll say that right now. I know that for a fact. And also saying that he has priors of beating up people and women. It's hard to beat a case, man, of beating up a woman and plead innocent when you got priors of doing it already. Oh, wait. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Wes, it's really over now. Bye-bye.